Can't hear
You're
you.
muted, Sean. You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody. I can figure out this very easily. I'll unmute on the Zoom. Hey, everybody. Good morning again. It is Thursday morning. My question for you is this. How do you use the thinking stuff? The what? I am wellness. Dios. I think Dios. Good morning. The thinking stuff. Where does this come from? Well, the thinking stuff is all around us. The thinking stuff is everything that we've ever thought about, everything we ever think about. It's where all of our ideas from. Wallace D. Wattles calls it the thinking stuff. It's that space between you and me. It's the universe. Lady Boss, Nikki, how are you? The conversation I want to share with you this morning is that you can use, you can leverage, you can create the all that you want from the thinking stuff that exists. Feel that. Feel that. Good AM. Kovac, I can't see, the words are small. So my conversation is how do you leverage it? Are you grateful for the thinking stuff? See, all too often we're not grateful for the thinking stuff. See, I wanted a colorful hat today, and a friend of mine gave me this hat, and I get to wear it today. I gotta fix the crease on it. There we go a little bit. No, now it looks like a Nike swoop. We'll worry about that later. So the thinking stuff. How do you leverage it? How do you use it? How are you grateful for it? This thinking stuff is everything and everywhere that you ever want to be and everything you ever want to do. That's your thinking stuff. Right now, you're using the thinking stuff. You're trying to think, what is the thinking stuff? Wallace D. Wattles puts it this way. There is a thinking stuff. There is a thinking stuff from which all things permeate, from which all things come, that permeates and penetrates and fills the inner spaces of the universe. I heard yesterday, I was listening to an educational video. For me, I like it. And the video said that I want you to think of a cell in your body. I want you to think of a cell in your body. There's a lot going on in the cell, right? 100,000 things per second going on inside a cell, inside one cell. They said it's the equivalent of, the equivalent of, listen carefully. For those of you that may or may not know some military stuff, they said it is the equivalent of an aircraft carrier, a fully functioning at-sea aircraft carrier. Think about an aircraft carrier, 5,000 people on the biggest one, 5,000, a small city on this aircraft carrier, and everybody's doing stuff. They're sleeping, they're eating, they're working on jets, they're working on the mechanics, they're cleaning, they're driving the ship, they're doing all of these things. Think about what's going on. Now imagine all of the jets, right? They have all of the different fighter jets and the helicopters. Imagine all of them spooled up, meaning they're ready to run and ready to take off. You got the pilots, you got the landing crew, the takeoff crew, the people who run the catapults, all of those things. Imagine all of that going on. There's a lot. They say an aircraft carrier, the activities, the amount of activities that are going on are equivalent to one cell in your body. Think about that for just a moment. Your cell, one cell in your body has as many functions going on right now as an aircraft carrier at sea, not at battle, just at sea, preparing. And we have how many cells in our body? How many cells in our body? Trillion cells, 37 to 137, a lot of cells. Do you think there's a thinking stuff going on? Just in your body, just in your body. Do you think there is a thinking stuff going on just in your body? Answer to that is, oh, heck to the yes. So how do you use it? See, it says behind me, for those of you on Instagram, behind me on my background, it says thought equals riches. How are you feeling rich this morning? How are you feeling rich this morning? Right? This is not working out. That will drive me crazy. As a farm boy, that'll drive me. We'll just go pro for a little bit. I'll figure this out, Christina. Christina gave me this hat. There we go. We're getting better. See, my thinking stuff says I can do better. My thinking stuff says I can fix the hat. There we go. Shift change. So what's your thinking stuff doing right now? It's not even better. Now it's foggy on the screen. Love it. We'll just go with it. Hi, Instagram. How are you? What's your thinking stuff doing? What's your thinking stuff doing about today? How are you setting the intentions up, right? Your subconscious is the steering wheel to the vehicle called your life. Your subconscious is the steering wheel. But you know what? Your subconscious isn't moved until it has fuel. You can either have positive fuel or negative fuel. The thinking stuff allows you so. You know what drives our fuel? You know what fills our fuel? Our thoughts. And what are most people's thoughts? Negative about their past. Science proves it. This isn't about me pulling some numbers or ideas or concepts out of the air. Science says that we have on average about 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Queen's University out of Canada says we have probably new thoughts about between 3,000 to 6,000 thoughts a day, depending upon your occupation and what you do. So if you have 70,000 thoughts and 6,000 are new, that means you have 64,000 thoughts. 64,000 thoughts that are repeat. And out of that, they say 80% of those, 60, 70, 80%, pick a number. It's a huge number. Those are not in our favor. I'll prove it to you. You want me to prove it to you? How many times do people look in a mirror or look at their clothes or look down and think, I'm fat? Even if they're not fat. Who's the ones that drive you just nuts when they go, I'm fat? It's the skinny people. Or you look at something and go, I can't afford that. I mean, be serious. Let's get serious about this. You are putting the thought that you're not enough into the thinking stuff. You really are. So now the question becomes, how do you shift that? You have to become aware of the thinking stuff. Do you mean I got to monitor every single thought? It would be good. You'd probably pass out from exhaustion because your brain consumes what? 20% of your body's resources. And if you start upping your thinking, you're going to hurt. You physically will hurt. You might get a migraine. Your neck might get stiff because you're adding more stress, because you're realizing how negative Nelly you are. And if anybody's Nelly on here, my apologies. We have on average 60 to 70,000 thoughts. If we have Canada University, no, Queen's University out of Canada, that's where Toronto is, says they tracked it. How do we track a new thought? Listen carefully. How do we track a new thought? We literally see a neural connection being made. They put somebody in an fMRI. I don't know. I'm guessing. They put somebody in an fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging machine. And they said, let's look at the neural connections. Let's see a new thought being made. You ever see that new thought being made where a neuron, a synaptic connection kind of breaks free from a neural connection, and the synaptic connection is off seeking some kind of new pathway? How many of you have ever had a detour and you had to find a new path? Sometimes they marked it, detour. Other times they didn't. How many of you have ever gotten lost on your way? Even though you had GPS, you got lost on your way. How many of you love when your GPS says rerouting? I don't think they say that anymore. They used to in the beginning. Rerouting, they always said rerouting on me. I remember when I first went to Dallas, and I was not a city boy driving in the big city of Dallas. And yeah, I thought the next road was rerouting. Rerouting. Anyway, so my point is this. So you have this thinking stuff from which all things are made that permeates and penetrates and fills the inner spaces of the universe. We must move from the competitive to the creative mind. When you step into the creative mind, when you allow the thinking stuff to collaborate with you, see, all too often we're putting in our order. You think that the universe is McDonald's or Burger King or any of the Jack in the Box, or you pick it. You drive up. There's a limited menu. How many of you have ever gotten to a place where you could buy breakfast and the hour went from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock and they switched from breakfast to lunch? Do you know what I'm talking about? Drop an L in the chat. And you couldn't order what you wanted, and you're like, bleh. Come on, 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I can't. You just did it 2 minutes ago. You know how that works in our life? Oh, come on. I really want my thing. I wanted it 20 years ago. It's been 20 years I've been waiting. 20 years you've been waiting. There is no time switch over. You don't go from breakfast. You don't go from poverty to lunch at 10 o'clock. And you're ordering with the universe. You go from poverty to wealth the second you choose to use the thinking stuff in your favor. The thinking stuff is working right now in your favor. You just aren't using it for your favor. Let me say that again. This one's going to hurt. This one will leave a mark. I promise you. The thinking stuff always works in your favor. You are just not using it for your favor. It doesn't say what you think about and think about, only good comes to you from the thinking stuff. No, it says what you think about and think about, you bring about. How do you know you're thinking about something? How do you know you're thankful about something? The universe assumes that you're thankful about something if you're what? Talking about it. Oh, snap. And what do you talk about? 70,000, 50,000 thoughts, 70,000, 80% are repetitive. Of those, 80% are not in our favor. 50,000 thoughts. Let's just do some rough math. 50,000 thoughts are negative. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm poor. I'm broke. My skin's breaking out. How many of you have ever looked in the mirror and went, oh my God, my skin's breaking out? What does the universe have to bring you? Think about it. Please pay attention for just a second. Give me 30 seconds to see if I can't help you rewire and restart your day. If you've ever looked in the mirror and went, ooh, the universe has to bring you more, ooh, because you talked about it. It says whatever you talk about, you bring about. What does it say in the Bible? Life and death is in the power of the what? Doesn't say the pinky. Life and death isn't in the power of the pinky. It's life and death is in the power of the tongue. La, 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 la. Some of you are like, oh my God, what is going on with this guy? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And if it's in the power of the tongue, it's about everything you say, whether you say it out loud or you have thoughts. You want to know how powerful thoughts are? Any of you ever grow up with a mom that gave you the look? Type look in the chat if you grew up with a mom or a dad that could give you the look. Didn't say a dang thing and they just went. My point is that everything you think has energy. It is accessing the thinking stuff. My question to you is, when do you want to use it for your favor? Because it's always operating in your favor. What you think about, it has to bring, it can't. Imagine if God had such a sense of humor that every time I planted a tomato plant, 1 out of 2 of them turned into a turnip plant. Think of a vegetable you don't necessarily enjoy, and you planted a tomato seed. You put a tomato seed in the ground. How sure are you that when you put a tomato seed in the ground, it's going to be a tomato? Now, it could be a Roman tomato. It could be an Italian tomato. It could be a beefsteak tomato. The seeds all look similar, but the results are different. Y'all get me? Y'all follow this? So what seed are you planting? It's every thought you have, you are putting in the ground. So imagine Nikki puts in the ground a tomato seed and a cauliflower plant goes up, and you're like, what the heck did I plant here? You look at your notes and you say, you look at your goals, you look at the notes from the last event you went to, and you go, I said I was going to plant tomatoes. I'm so happy and grateful I plant tomatoes because I love tomato sandwiches. That's what it said on your notes, but a cauliflower grows up. Would you say, I want better seeds? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you go, where the heck did I get these seeds from? They're not predictable. I planted, it says tomatoes right on the package. And I got a cauliflower plant. What the heck is going on? Let me ask you this. If there's 500 seeds, let's say there's 100 seeds in the tomato packet. 100 seeds. How many plants would be enough plants for you to question the package? 1? 50? How many of you would literally freak out going, how the heck did somebody miss? Quality control was off. They gave me 1 cauliflower plant. Yeah, you're going to write down goals today. You're going to write down intentions today, and you're going to get cauliflower plants coming out your ears. You're going to get all the things you don't want. Why? Because you're thinking about all the things you don't want. It's why I've started the Science of Getting Rich program again, season 2. What if you could truly understand the science of getting rich, understand the thoughts of how to use the thinking stuff in your favor? What if you could finally understand how to put gratitude to work for you and not this off in the distance kind of feel? I'm grateful. No, grateful and gratitude are 2 different things. Wake up, Charlie Brown. Wake up, America. You've got to realize that being thankful for something and gratitude are 2 different things. But you're going to go and say, I need the algorithms to social media. Give me the algorithms to social media. I want to know when to post, how to post. Tell me what to post. That has nothing to do with your success.
Bonus.
You're welcome. This is about the science. It doesn't say about the mystery of gratitude and what do we call it? Affirmations, self-talk. There is a science to getting rich. If you wanted to make somebody type in the chat, if I wanted to make a drink called a screwdriver, what are the ingredients? Just type it in the chat. If you know what it is, what are the ingredients? Or I'll make it real simple. A gin and tonic. What are the ingredients? Right? It's gin and tonic. Could I ever have a gin and tonic if I only had tonic? Vodka and orange juice. If I only had orange juice, would I have a screwdriver? No, I'd have orange juice. Too many of you are running around with orange juice going, hey, I'm drinking a screwdriver. Is that Alexandria? Good morning, Alexandria. You follow me? OJ and Russian water. You're absolutely right, chef. So if I only have one thing, one part of the ingredient, do I have the recipe? How many of you have vodka and OJ available and you don't necessarily make a screwdriver? You make something else. You make sex on the beach. Did he just say sex on the beach? Yeah, baby. So my point is this. Do you believe the ingredients exist for your success? Got to ask yourself the question, do you believe the ingredients exist for your success? If they do, then it's time to rebuild the recipe you have called your life. And the recipe that you have comes from the thinking stuff. You are required to put some thought into your ideas. It's called private time. It's called meditation. It's called journaling. If you'd like to join me on a journey to understand the science of getting rich at a level maybe you've never experienced before. I was taught the science of getting rich 25 years ago. Oh, that makes me sound mature. By Bob Proctor, the guy, right? Bob Proctor talked about the little green book all the time. The movie The Secret was the little green book. Who's the first person they show up? Who's the first authority they show up that shows up in the movie The Secret? Who's the first person in his eggshell white suit? Who's the first person that shows up? You're probably wondering what the secret is. I'll tell you what the secret is, right? That's the line he says. He told me that 20 years before he ever said it on stage in the movie The Secret. Is it time for you to understand the thinking stuff? Is it time for you to truly understand and be able to every day have massive quantum leaps in your life? Are you supposed to have these minuscule struggle and effort and exhausted days? Are you meant for that? Is that what you want? Or are you ready for more? Are you ready for more? If you're ready for more, then I'd invite you to join my energy to become part of the circle of conversation where I'm going to literally give you access through your subconscious, through something called subconscious visualization technique, through the NESS program, the neuroenergetic self-sculpting program, where you will use EFT and tapping and self-talk and meditation. Today at 11 o'clock, I do my challenge. It's going to be an hour-long meditation. A what? An hour-long meditation. Your body is going to flip out. Your brain is going to want to jump off the next curb it comes to. Because many of you have never truly meditated for an hour of deep, intense meditation. 11 o'clock today, Central Standard Time. Go to unlearnme.live, unlearnme.live. Yes, it will be recorded, but the recordings may cost money. But yes, it'll be recorded. So my question for you today, right now, I'll leave you with this. You use the thinking stuff, and the thinking stuff is always answering your favor. The thinking stuff is always answering your favor. The challenge is you are not using it for your favor. It always gives you favor. You ask it, it delivers. You want to be mad with your ex? You want to be mad at your parents? You want to be mad at the people who left your business? You want to be mad at your upline because they didn't support you or put people in your organization? You want to be mad because they changed the comp plan? You want to be mad because it's raining out? You want to be mad because it's snowing out? The universe says, as your wish is my command. It's when you finally understand that you have control over your thoughts. It's the only thing God gave us that differs us from the animal kingdom. We have the ability to control our thoughts. The challenge is most of us are thinking in a stressful state, which is why our cortisol is up. Who knows what cortisol is? They didn't talk about that in the 1800s. Oh, you've got cortisol, that ring around your belly, that little fat that you carry. That's cortisol. That's your body living in stress. They didn't say that because it didn't exist at the level it does. We are in a constant fight or flight situation. And when you get out of the fight or flight, you don't even know what to do. Your body is such a relaxed state. You don't even know what to do. You can't even operate. How many of you, when you go on vacation, it takes you like 3 days to relax? Because you think you have to be in the constant, where's the saber-toothed tiger? Where's the fight coming from? Where's the attack coming from? And you can't even hear love, peace, and joy. I'd invite you to join me on this journey. Come today, 11 o'clock. Go to www.unlearnme.live and set up your account. I love you tons. I'm your brain training, self-talk, nest creating misfit. Welcome to February 1st, episode 1763. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Till then, bye for now. Hey, VIPers, what'd you learn? What'd you like? What'd you do today? Your thoughts, conversations on the blessings.